evening.
Yeah.
Today actually is the day after Christmas. We're at the Moral Classroom of the Sacred Virtue Way Institute. Mr. Shim has put out something very beautiful for the moral class today. I will leave that to Mr. Shim to do this moral class first, and then I will go over it. But when I look at these 8 Chinese characters, I recognize that Mr. Shim is calling me to also deliver some very important kind warning, warning for the modern people who have modern notions and right now are basically causing huge amount of death cases in mainland China. Every day my heart felt very, very sad when I read the news about ongoing, what's really ongoing right now in mainland China. As we all know, China right now, so-called already opened up and no more zero policy. And then at the same time, large amount of people are dying. Huge amount of people are dying. Interestingly, most of those people who are dead are Chinese Communist Party members who are very, very so-called dedicated to Chinese Communist Party ideology and worked really hard for the Chinese Communist Party. When they die, they always big name, famous academy members. In China, the Chinese Academy, that's supposed to be the most, highest level of brain, intellect. Just in recent 2 months, huge amount of those brain, they all basically disappeared or sudden deaths. And in China right now has a lot of so-called, again, white lung. People die within three hours. A person walking, talking, everything normal with no sign of disease. Within 3 hours, that person is already dead. Famous dancers, artists, academy members, Some of them even young, like 50 something, okay? So this is really something quite alarming. What is really going on? Falun Dafa practitioners, as a matter of fact, know what's gonna happen today, even 18 years ago. I'm telling you the truth. 18 years ago, the reason I stopped to continue to do my research when I was even invited to go to Harvard to run, my own research laboratory at Harvard. I was invited to go back to Harvard after my lab was forcefully shut down because of the governor of Washington State followed the order of the Chinese government, and the Chinese government was fearful of the work I was doing in my laboratory. My work demonstrated that the Falun Dafa, this ancient mind-body practice, actually can change the entire operational mode of the human immune system. And it is so incredibly powerful data. The Chinese Communist government want to silence me. They control the Washington State governor to forcibly shut down my laboratory. If I want to pursue name and profit, I could just go back to Harvard and do my research and continue to enjoy the glory of the science, modern science field as a leader, but I didn't. You know why? Because my teacher, Mr. Li Hongzhi, already showed me that big time disaster is about to come. Human world is gonna face such crisis because of human moral has gone down like this. Okay. Our teacher told me that because human morality has gone down the tube, human world is gonna face huge problems. And when 2003 SARS, so-called epidemics happened in China, that year, originally, SARS alone would kill lots and lots of Chinese people. But our creator compassionately stopped it and brought new time, new opportunities for the people, to again go through this process of learning the truth so that they can be saved. But our teacher warned the world and told the practitioners that there will be a big one in the human world that will weed out a lot of people. That's why our teacher wants Falun Dafa practitioners to be the messengers of truth, to tell the world, quit CCP. So 2004, I came to New York to start the first office in Flushing to encourage Chinese people to quit CCP. The Whole Elephant Institute built the first open storefront to encourage Chinese people to quit CCP. Okay, so now looking back, yes, 18 years ago, the great teacher Falun Dafa, Mr. Li Hongzhi, has already foreseen and foretold and kindly warned the world people to listen to Falun Dafa practitioners' messages, to quit CCP. Okay, and a lot of people didn't listen, and that's why they're dying out today. Now, this is teaching Mr. Li Hongzhi gave as soon as the global plague started, Wuhan pneumonia started. And I just want to very quickly go over this. Now, in the newspaper right now, this text is being cited. That's why I now know that this teaching now is open to the general public. Before, I don't do that because I felt our teacher has specifically only delivered this teaching to Falun Dafa practitioners, not for the general public, so I don't say it. But right now, look like it's time to tell everybody. So that's why I want to put it together here. People say, so your teacher, who is your teacher? Here you says, 何人默认, it doesn't matter who. 必实善从. At the critical time, follow kind advice, okay, or follow kindness, okay. So I believe that this is the most compassionate message and can save lots of people's lives. So therefore, I want to teach this in this our moral classroom. I think this is teaching true morality, most critical morality right now we need to follow, okay? So, okay, this is Li. This is Xing. I think there is a G, right? Li Xing, yeah.
Xing, yeah.
Xing, yeah.
Li Xing.
Li.
Li
Xing.
Xing.
Li Xing means rationality. We human beings must have rationality when we live in the world. We cannot follow crazy thoughts. Everything we think needs to follow rationality. Rationality actually is based upon morality. Without morality, there is no rationality. So in every regard, Li Xing means, in my heart, it conforms to this moral classroom. It is truly the most important morality. Follow your clear conscience, rationality, okay? 瘟疫.
瘟疫.
瘟疫means the plague. Now the modern science called it pandemic. Okay, 瘟疫. The Chinese traditional culture called this kind of disease 瘟疫. Why? Because 瘟疫 is not a regular disease. It is usually a heaven's punishment, warning to the mankind that you guys have done too many corruptions, too much immoral conducts. So that's usually associated with 瘟疫. In the ancient Rome, 4 waves of plagues wiped out the entire ancient Rome. Right now, the Chinese Communist Party controlled China is now plagued, okay, by Wuhan pneumonia. And we also call the virus CCP virus, as if it's targeting towards the followers of the Chinese Communist Party. This teaching specifically stated that, okay. 瘟疫本身本身 本 means root, 身 means body, 本身 means the root itself, the root itself. The plague, this disease, the root body is 是 神安排的 神 divine 安排 arranged 的 plague itself is arranged by the divine. A lot of people don't want to hear that. What do you mean? We want to conquer it. You cannot conquer it. Xi Jinping wants to conquer it. He tried to conquer for 3 years. What happened today? Large amount of people are dead. Exactly because his arrogance against the divine arrangement. Plague itself is arranged by the divine. No human can ever conquer it. Vaccination, another tried to conquer it. Did it help? Not only didn't help, but it's going to be a global health crisis upcoming. Just like what's happening now in China. Xi Jinping used zero policy to conquer瘟疫, now leading to exactly the opposite results. After 3 years, white lung came back, instant death came back, okay? In America, in Israel, in many other Western countries, use the vaccination. Eventually, we will see the results is just like the zero policy in China. Okay, no one can conquer it, but it's gonna actually make it much worse. Okay, 瘟疫本身是神安排的，是历史发展的必然。Is 历史 means history，发展 means development。Of 必然，必然 means must so，must be so. It is arranged by the divine, and it is the end consequence of the development of history. Human history development eventually leading to 瘟疫, because what? Human morality gradually degenerate. People's mind gradually degenerate, ultimately ended with destruction. 瘟疫 is a phenomenon throughout the human history. When the human society starts to go down the tube of the moral, 瘟疫 always happens. In every dynasty in China, when it is about to be too corrupt and need to be replaced by the next dynasty, 瘟疫 started to happen. In the Western world, all the ancient civilizations, when they end, always had 瘟疫. It is arranged by the divine, it is the consequence, and must be so along the human society history development. Okay. 人心, human heart. 不好了, 不, not, 好, good. 不好了, when human heart is no longer good, 就会, then, will, 造业, create karma. 得病, 得 means
病
get, 病 disease.
get disease.
遭灾 encounter disasters. 遭灾 experience disasters. When human heart no longer is good, then human being will create karma, start to have sickness, and start to experience disasters. Okay, come here. 人在这时 human being at this time 不信神的 those who do not believe in the divine 就会 then will 采取 means take on 什么 something 措施 means measure, try to do something, to take some approaches, smart approaches, try to go against